Hey guys, this is Dan from Natty News Daily. Before we get into our podcast with our guest Daniel Kubik, who was an awesome guest today, I want to forewarn the listeners that we had to splice the audio up a good bit. There was some work going on outside my house that kept cutting off my internet. Daniel was extremely patient with me today while we were recording, but just for the listener, just so you know, I ask a request that you be a little bit patient with us today. We're gonna do our best to splice this up best we can. I think it was a good episode regardless, so do still want to put it out there, and we do plan to record with Daniel again in the future. But anyways, we get into it. Enjoy the episode as best you can, right? So thanks, guys. There we go. All right, welcome back to the Natty News Daily podcast. Take two. We had a little bit of Zoom crash. I'm here with my German friend. We negotiated a time difference here, but we were able to pop on pretty quickly. Daniel Kubik from over in Germany. Daniel, how are you, man?
Hi, thank you that I can be here with you and record this podcast today. Yeah, I'm fine. It's getting a little bit harder day day for day in this preparation for the autumn season. But yeah, today after the morning we have here about 2 o'clock p.m. So yeah, it's a little bit later. And now if the day getting started a little bit, I'm a little bit more happy and get good into the day. Yeah, it's always like a roller coaster
Crap,
over the
yeah.
day. Yeah. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. I'm just it's morning here, so I'm just getting my day started. So but yeah, why don't we were talking off air about some miscellaneous stuff, which we said, oh, we should have been recording. But before we get into the weeds of some of that stuff, uh why don't you give yourself a quick intro, just who you are, just in case for people who might not know who you are, a little bit of your competitive history, how you got into bodybuilding, how long you've been competing, where you're at, all
Yes.
that fun stuff, and then we'll get into this year's prep, past seasons, all that fun stuff.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, my name is Daniel Kubik, you told before, and I'm now 28 years old. I have always to remember how old I am, really. Since 18 years, I have the feeling that every year is the same. So I'm 28 years old now. I start my bodybuilding career, I think about 13 or 14 years ago. I starting with training. It was in the beginning more fitness training, more training 2 to 5 times a week. And I think in the first 2 or 3 years I played soccer. So yeah, I don't have to train my legs as my upper body. It's like the most people started in this time, I think. And yeah, about 11 years ago, I getting a little bit more into the fitness and bodybuilding training. I think that was the time of Sis and Jeff Said and Lazar Angelov and yeah, the fitness guys in this time. Shape You, what do you know Shape You? With Adam Gabay and Jeff Said and
I know those guys. Yeah, I know
also a
Jeff. I know
little
Jeff
team
and
here.
Sis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the beginning for me with fitness and yeah, getting a little bit more into bodybuilding with the Flex magazines and everything. And yeah, get a little bit in touch with it. After that, I think I trained about 6 years or something, around 5 to 6 years, and I would like to do my first contest prep with 20 years or 90. I think I was 19 years, no, 17 years old. I was 70 years old, and it was after 4 years of training.
Hmm.
And yeah, there I had a problem with my shoulder. I did OHP with the barbell behind the head with
Hmm.
heavy load. I think I was 17 and I pressed about 120 kilo on the bar for 3 or 4 reps. And after that, my super spinatus muscle, yeah, get an injury and a rupture. And yeah,
Oh,
after that, I had to cancel this first started contest prep with a teenage age or in the teenage age. After that, 2 years later, I did my first preparation in 2016 with about 20 years old, I think. That was the first season for me, and I stepped on stage by the GmbF in Germany. That's in this time it was the only and the biggest natural bodybuilding federation in the whole countries, Austria, Switzerland, and yeah, the countries next to here. And yeah, in the GmbF, competed as a junior. I was in the class uh, over 75 kilograms. I can remember
did you
really
have
good.
before you get into that? Did you have people around you that were competing in the GNBF, or how
No,
did you find out? You just searched it on your own and went down the rabbit hole after watching his video. Like, where can I compete?
yeah, yeah, because I think in the Shape You team here in Germany, there was or there were some guys like Patrick Teutsch,
Yep,
Pascal Haag, for example. I don't know if you know him, but
I know both of them.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that they are yeah, they promoted natural bodybuilding in Germany in this time a little bit more. And I think that was the time when Misha Janiak and Janiec and Patrick Reiser uh, getting more into social media, getting a little bit bigger accounts. And yeah, so I saw that you can compete as a natural bodybuilder in some natural bodybuilding federations, but I don't have any contact with any persons um, out of the natural bodybuilding scene. So yeah, I did my first preparation.
The
Uh,
self-coach then,
um, no, I don't have a
or do you
coach.
work?
I work together with the owner of the gym of mine. So yeah, he gave me some tips and take a look after the posing. But I think yeah, this was the first prep and it was really unprofessional. So it wasn't a really good prep, and the placing shows how the whole prep was going on. So I think I placed eight in the junior class and don't getting into the finals in my first show. But the funny thing was I was the biggest guy in my class, but I don't have the shreds I need to get into the finals. And yeah, after that, I did another competition, the AMBF, the Austrian
Hmm.
Natural Bodybuilding Federation, was 1 week after, and there I could place second. I think there was in both classes between 15 and 20 other athletes in my class. So it was competitive, but not that competitive as today. So
I was say that's a contrast
mm,
from today and the spectacle that they're putting on with the ANBF show with the drone and
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a little stage. I think it was in the earliest years of the AMBF. I think the AMBF had their first show in 2013 or 14. Yeah, in 2016 that was no the second location of them, a little bit bigger than in 2014, but not really big. It was a small stage, more unprofessional, but today it's crazy what the AMBF is giving to every athlete who's competing there. So, yeah, that was the first season, 2016. After that, I have to analyze a little bit my stage conditioning and yeah, took a look what I can do better in the next season. And yeah, it was primary the conditioning and secondary, I think the posing. And I, yeah, thought about competing next year because I was still junior athlete in the 2017 season. So I did the next season too. And in the 2017 season, I getting more hard. I getting a little bit more shredded. I think I had 3.5 kilograms less than in the year before. And yeah, so the placements were better. Yeah, I think I placed in the AMBF. I did the junior class and the men's bodybuilding class, I think to 75 kilograms. So I get under the baseline of 75. I won the men's class and the junior class and getting the overall in the men's bodybuilding. That was my first overall and my first pro state by the DFAC in 2017. And after the AMBF, get I yeah, after the AMBF, I did the GmbF, the German Natural Bodybuilding Federation, again in junior class and in the men's bodybuilding class. And in this year, I was in the 75 under 75 kilogram class. I think there was a cut in 72.5 and 75, and I getting under the 72.5 kilogram class. Um, and yeah, I won both classes too, the junior and the men's, and I think in the overall I placed second in this year. So that was a big, big step for me
From
with
your
the
past
placement.
season. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, after that, I did a 4.5 year off season.
Alrighty. I appreciate everyone's patience. We're having a little bit of issues with Zoom. I think my internet's kicking me off, but we're trying to troubleshoot here. But Daniel, I'll let you carry on. Trying to think about where you were at. You were right around that 2017 year, though. Um, talking through that
Yeah,
season.
yeah. And I think the next season was the 2022 season. And I think that was the popular season for me. I think there are some other
Yeah, you
guys
made
who,
waves. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, who see me. And the problem was I get two pro cards in 2017 for the DFAC and for the PMBA. But in PMBA, if you don't compete after 2 years and activate your pro card, the pro card yeah, is gone or has gone. So I had to do some natural amateur shows again. I did as the first show in the season, I did the two pros Ben Raider, but it was an untested one. There I did the classic physique class, and in true novice I placed first. After that, I did the novice class. There I placed second, and in the open B class I placed on the third place. But I think I was 13 weeks out or something like that to my to the important competition, the heaviest competition, the Natural Bodybuilding Worlds. Yeah, after that, 4 weeks later, I uh, did the INBA Netherlands. It's a small show too. I won the overall there. Did the GmbF again, the international show in this season. I won the overall. After that, I did the INBA Hungary. I did the overall again. So it was yeah, a season with just overalls. The INBA Worlds, the amateur. I did the overall again. And after that, I did the pro show and I won the pro show. Yeah, that was my 2022 season. And now in this season, 2024, I would like to do the autumn season because I think it's a little bit more competitive. The problem was in the 2022 season that I can't compete in any WMBF shows because I didn't do the WMBF Germany yet. So I had no chance to do, for example, the IMBF Muscle Mayhem or something like that.
Hmm.
I would appreciate to do this anytime, but yeah, there wasn't in this time it
This is the
wasn't possible for me.
opportunities. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and now in the 2024 season, I had two clients in the IMBA Worlds. I think now 1 month ago, and I step on stage again in the pro class, and I won the pro class 12 or 13 weeks out, I think, to my first show.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a little bit funny, I think, because it was out of the prep. So I didn't do anything. I didn't load for the show. I didn't peak for the show or something like that. I
Just walked
yeah,
out there with a tan and
shaved my hairs, get a tan, and stepping on stage there and won the show. Yeah, but it was cool. It was really cool because there wasn't some pressure for me with the show. It would be also okay if I placed fourth or fifth or something like that. It was not my it wasn't important for me to win this show. Yeah, and I think that's a really good thing because in the autumn season everybody were looking at me and thinking about winning every show in Germany because in the past I just won every show. So yeah, I have a lot of pressure. And yeah, this show was just fun for me. I stepped on stage, I had a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. There were really
that
cool
was in
athletes.
June, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I enjoyed it really, and I think after this show, the prep begins for me really fast, getting harder, and the focus on the main shows getting a little bit more deep. And yes, now I'm really into contest prep, I think, and I'm excited what next shows will bring this season. Yeah,
Yeah, and the fall shows I agree are
yeah,
tend to be the more competitive shows. So
yeah.
so what shows are you targeting this year? Are you thinking about competing in the WNBF? You alluded to that. Um, when is WNBF Germany?
Yeah, the WMBF Germany, the national WMBF Germany has two shows.
Okay.
They have one national show in the well, on the fifth.
So you were talking about the WNBF Germany being on, I believe, the 15th.
Yeah, yeah. And after that, I will the WMBF Germany, the national is on the 15th, and I think the international show for international athletes will be a little bit later in the year. I think that will be the 3rd of November or something like that, a little bit closer to the WMBF Worlds. And yeah, I tried to get my pro card in the first show, so I had to do or I have to win the overall again in the WMBF show. So that would be a good milestone for me because after winning a pro card in the WMBF, I can competing in other pro shows of the WMBF anytime, and that will be really good for me because it will be open some other options to the INBA shows I did before because I think INBA it's cool, but it is not the heaviest guys in the NBA. I think there are some good athletes, yeah, in the Natural Olympia, and there are some good athletes in the Worlds, but in the NBA, I think there is a little problem with the pro state because many good athletes here around in Europe, I think they just competing in the amateur classes, so they don't get into the pro state because the pro state in the PBA it's really expensive. If you do the world championships, for example, I have to get an get membership of the GmbF for 10.
All right. So back again. Um, you were talking about why that you were looking at competing or why competing with the PNBA Pro is maybe not super practical and such.
Yeah, I think the competition in the PNBA is a little bit more expensive than in other federations. But I don't know that many federations because I'm just PNBA Pro. But yeah, I have to get a membership in my own federation, the GmbF, for example. For the PNBA, I think in the GmbF it was about 55 euros or something like that, just the membership. After that, I have to get the PMBA membership. The PMBA membership was about $175 or something like
So they
that.
make you double dip on that. Huh.
Yeah, it's and it's over the whole time. I have to buy the tanning service. It was over 120 euros. I have to get the payment for the show. It was 250 euros. And if you would like to do more shows, I think it will be cool. But yeah, here in Europe, we have one PMBA show. So you have to do this one and
Do all
pay for
that for
this
one
one
show.
show. Yeah, I think I had paid for just for the show to uh to compete there about 650 euros. And for me it was okay because I won the 1,000 euro prize money, but for every other athlete,
Yeah.
I think it's hard for 10 minutes on the stage or 15 minutes on the stage. And I think the WMBF have more options and it's not that expensive. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an WMBF pro. But yeah, that's the first season for me with an WMBF show. The first one will be at the 15th of September. 3 weeks later, I will do the first pro show of the AMBF for me after winning the 2017 overall title as an amateur. I will step on stage again in this show, and I heard about yeah, competing against other great athletes like Julian Briscoe, like Enzo Rosin, like Keefe West, I think, Kevin
Yeah, Keefe is
Hernandez.
competing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there will be other great
This is gonna
athletes.
be a
I
hell of a
think,
lineup.
yeah, yeah, that will be hard. That will be hard, and it will be good, and it will be competitive, and that it's so important for me that I getting into a competitive lineup again. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
always,
just my head's spinning with how that's gonna be a showdown. I'm just thinking about the Natty News graphic we need to put together now with all you guys to announce
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't know how many other athletes will get into this show or competing into this show, but I think it will be line up about 15 or 20 pro athletes. I hope so that the lineup will be great because it's making more fun on the
Oh
stage
yeah.
to competing again against other great athletes. So yeah, that will be cool, I think. And the next show
I'm
is,
stoked on my end. And I won't even
yeah,
I'll be across the pond.
yeah. You have to come to the AMBF too, man.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Um,
Yeah. How
I
how
mean,
long
with
are
with the
you?
spectacle that they're putting on there,
How long would you fly to Austria?
probably could be quite a haul. And that's of course. I mean, what date was it? You said
That's the 5th and the 6th of November. No, no,
November of
October. Sorry.
October.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah,
if you would like to step on stage there, it's a big stage, big lightnings, drones, a very big backstage for athletes. Yeah, everything is fine there. The organization is one of the best in the world, I think. And you would have a lot of fun. So that's clear. But
yeah.
yeah, I
I'm like
think,
throwing it around in my head. Like, man, that'd be fun. It is like it is a week before Mr. America though for me. So I'm like, and that's kind of one of my big ones. So that
yeah.
is probably my big one. So I'm just like, yeah, that's
But I think if you would
yeah,
like to go to the AMBF, you have to place the show as one of your big ones because the
yeah,
comparison is really good there.
yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a showdown.
Yeah, but it will be great. I think the show will be really cool. And yeah,
Is
after
that the
that,
big one on your mind then? That show? It sounds like it is.
no, no, I think the Evo Classic will be the biggest for me. Yeah, because for me the Evo Classic is something very special. I have the chance to invite all of my followers and my family and my friends because the Evo Classic is in Siegen and Siegen is located really near by my own town. So I have to drive about, I think, 1.5 or 2 hours to Siegen to the location, to the venue, and um, there uh, there are a really big audience. I think about 3,000 person or something like that. So everybody who would like to see me on stage um, can yeah, come to
Yeah.
the show and look how it's we're going. And
I think
yeah,
they're putting on Evo Classics. They've been putting on
yeah,
a hell of a show there too.
yeah,
That's you know, talk about spectacle. That's, you know, they're clearly, you know, I think is it Sapir that puts on that show? Is that how you
um
say his name?
what do you mean?
Who puts on that show? Isn't it? It's put on by
Evo,
yeah,
Sports
Evo.
Fuel. Yeah,
But who's
uh
is it Sapir that
yeah,
owns
yeah.
Evo? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's the owner of Evo Sports Fuel. He's also a great natural bodybuilding athlete here in
Oh
Germany.
yeah.
He's huge, and now I think he getting more into the the CEO standpoint. Yeah, and
The
do
business
shows
side.
and yeah, create something for other natural bodybuilding athletes. What is really really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to see it because yeah, I think I watched some of that and I saw
Yeah.
the show photos from that and yeah, like the stage that they put on for you guys, the prize money, the you know
Yeah, the price.
the quality of the athletes, yeah, they're doing it big there.
Yeah, of
And that's
course.
close for
It's
you then? That's in
yeah, yeah,
how far of a drive for you?
2 hours or something like that.
That's
So yeah,
that's
that's really cool because every of my family and friends can watch this show too if they want. It's not that far away, like the AMBF to the AMBF we drive about 8 or 9 hours or something like
uh-huh.
that. It's a little bit more far away. So the Evo Classic is the best show to watch of the show himself or herself because the music is great. The moderators are really really good. You have a lot of fun. Yeah, it's not just a competition. It's also a show. So
Yeah.
you step on stage and you get motivated really hard and have a lot of fun with other people and yeah, everything is cool. So I think for everybody who would like to watch a show, the Evo Classic would be a great one. And if you would like to watch the show too, I think the AMBF and the Evo Classics have one of the best live streams I ever seen in bodybuilding. It's better than the natural or the Olympia one. So with a 4K live stream, and it's for free. So both are for free. And if the lineup will be so good, like in the last year, it will be much fun to watch the show on the live stream too. So yeah,
That's gonna be epic. I'm gonna be
yeah,
I'll be streaming it, that's for sure.
yeah, you have to.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love what you guys are doing over there. Just with the spectacle. We see spurts of that a little bit in the US, but it seems like over in Europe, a lot of the shows are being put on like that and to be, you know, to put natural bodybuilders on a professional stage, I think is important because you know, at least a lot of I don't know how much you hear over there, but in the US, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the minor leagues, it's Bush, you know, it's just like kind of like
Mm,
a bush league sort of operation. But you know, when you've got a lot of really good athletes, and to put them on a professional stage with really good lighting, good photography, and just yeah, treating them like professionals, treating it like a professional event, I think makes a huge difference for natural bodybuilding.
yeah, yeah, I think so. But I also think that the natural bodybuilding bubble in Germany growth about last 5 years immense. So there was a big growth over the last or the past 5 years, and it's like it's exploding here. So
Why don't you
also
touch
the
on that? I'd love to dig into that. Yeah, because I've noticed that too. There's so many good German athletes, and a lot of people are, you know, speculating, oh, what's going on? What's in the water in Germany? Like,
yeah
hey, you see the fake, you see the all the fake natty comments, all these fake natties coming out of Germany. Like, what's the deal there?
yeah I think it's about 10 years ago. I think the most people or a lot of people getting in, no, not a lot, but there are some people getting in contact with 3DMJ, for example. And
Mhm.
after the 3DMJ guys, which are really deep into natural bodybuilding and science-based bodybuilding, um, there was there were some influencer like Misha Janiak, Patrick Reiser, Prozep, for example, doing the same stuff in German. Yeah, and explaining the science-based training very well. And I think it was 8 years ago or something like that. And in Germany, you hadn't the big guys in this time, so there wasn't. We don't have that many IFBB pros, yeah, in bodybuilding or classic physique or something like that in this time zone. So athletes like Urs Kadecinski, for example, getting his first contact with Misha Janiak, Patrick Reiser, Prozep too. So everybody has looked or has watched their videos and get a little bit more in contact with science-based training instead of training like, yeah, pro split or something like that. So um, I think that is a big reason why that many persons are training a little bit better. And after that, after this time frame with the influencers, um, I think there was a time where online coaching getting bigger and bigger and bigger in Germany. And I think more people in Germany getting in contact with online coaching in natural bodybuilding. And we have some great coaches here over Germany. I think Jan Frisse, for example, Frederick Kölzel, Valentin Tambosi in the past times. And yeah, after the first basement of the online coaching with some coaches, there are new coaches, and after that we have another new coaches, and every coach did a good work because yeah, it was like a game. Yeah, you always would like to be the best coach, and you have to play against other coaches in this area. And yeah, now we are doing a good work together. Now we are that many coaches here in Germany, and we have a good communication between us coaches. And I think the athletes are getting a little bit earlier in contact with science-based training. Their training started a little bit earlier. So, for example, Benjamin Schuster, he's an athlete of mine. He started training with, I think, 13 years or something like that. With 15 years, he was the first time on stage.
Yeah. And we interviewed him, and
Here again.
yeah, I don't know if they're cutting up it's saying my internet connection because they're doing work on the street. I don't know if it's
Ah, yeah,
on
but it
the
could be possible,
I
yeah.
think they might be installing a new fiber network, so maybe that's cutting it. But
Yeah,
there's currently a truck out, right around the corner I can see.
but, but
Um
yeah,
but
I
it
think,
sounds like yeah, we're gonna have to splice this up, but it sounds like over in the US, like a lot of like the influencer culture is and like science-based culture is often disconnected a little bit from the competitive side. Not
yeah,
always. You got like you said, you got the three MJ guys, but there's a lot of influencers that don't compete and there's just a
yeah,
lot of talk about like all these science-based lifters that are small, right? Over
yeah,
here at least, like these all these TikTokers that are talking and trying to
yeah,
communicate science that are small, but over there it seems like there's a complete overlap of, like you said, like guys that are training intelligently and applying these principles, but are also the top
yeah,
athletes, right? So I
yeah,
think that sounds like that makes a difference in legitimizing the whole space. Is that something that you see?
yeah. I'm here. I'm here.
Got it? How about
Yeah.
now? Okay.
I,
We were talking about the overlap between the science-based and or the intelligent training and the competitive scene, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, what I think in the US or in the US room, in the social media room of the US, you have also this influencer and this good, yeah, the good people, yeah, with getting a lot of really, really deep stuff out of them. But I think in Germany we have a little bit less of other content here. So the amount of people who spreading a little bit more science-based content is a little bit higher, yeah, than in the US, I think. So because you have in the US also good persons, yeah, Matt Oakes,
Oh yeah.
Jeff Nippert, yeah, Brian DeCosta, and you have big guys too, Mike Ishotel or something, 3DMJ. Everybody of this person is really good in the stuff they get out. But yeah, I think here in Germany it's a hype, I think, of a hype and a good amount of great athletes. Yeah, and this is the reason why year after year coming a little bit better person athletes.
Yeah, and I love to see that, and it's something that I wish that there was a little bit more we could overlap a little bit more on the US side is those two things. So it seems like just, like you said, there's a lot of quality people over in the US promoting this stuff and talking about this stuff. But um, it's for at least from our end, it seems like it's just a little bit more spread out. So, but it
Yeah.
sounds like it's very condensed and very high quality and like a lot of just high density, high quality over in Germany. So that's very cool to see. Um,
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I think you have good coaches and a lot of good coaches because if you take a look at after the athletes are competing, which are competing, you always see a great conditioning, and a great conditioning is just the work of the coach and of the athlete. So they have
it's just every
did
time. Let's
did
just
you
let's
have
just let's bring this one home and then we'll schedule a follow up because I do want to put this out because there's so much good stuff we talked about. But
yeah,
let's
yeah, I
let's bring
think
this one home.
Uh, I I told you that I think the one of the big reasons why the athletes in Germany are so good is the conditioning they bring on stage.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
if
conditioning you
you
guys are
bring the
bringing.
conditioning on stage, it's just the work you have to put in. Because yeah, muscle mass, it's one thing, but to get shredded on the stage, yeah, you have to do the work. And your coach has the work to do too. And I think that's one of the big reasons why German athletes are placing so good in the world because
Yeah,
here in Germany you have to bring the conditioning, and in other countries it isn't like here. So if the German, okay,
yeah,
let's
the
bring it
conditioning of
home.
the German athletes is just spectacular that you guys are bringing.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big reasons why they are placing so good in the world. I think there are athletes of other countries who bring the same conditioning and could bring the same conditioning, but the amount of athletes around Germany and Austria, Switzerland, which is bringing this conditioning on the stage is a little bit higher, I think.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all. Yeah.
I've noticed that, and then you did really well at 13 weeks out, so that just speaks to the quality of condition that you're looking to bring this year. So, um, like I said, I want
We'll
to get you
see.
back on for another episode. At some point here when we're a little less interrupted by whatever work is going on outside the house here.
Yes.
Um, but why don't we close this off with a quick message for our viewership. We talked a lot about what you guys are doing over in Germany and the quality over in Germany. What is something that you could leave a young athlete with? As a word of advice or just something to ponder on just as a coming up athlete who wants to do well and wants
Yeah.
to enjoy natural bodybuilding.
I think if you are a growing up athlete, you have to get enough muscle mass currently, and after that, getting in touch with a good coach and It's no problem.
So getting in
Okay.
touch with a good coach.
Yeah, I told that yeah, young persons have to get a bit of muscle mass, get a little bit in research for their own, and after that, if they would like to step on stage with a competitive shape, they have to get in contact with a good coach who knows what he will do with the athletes and how to get really, really shredded. And I think that will be the best way to get the highest amount of outcome out of the work they put in.
So I think that's a great message to leave them with. Get good guidance and do things
Perfect.
well, smart, hard for a long bit of time, gain some muscle, get in condition. So
Yeah.
very cool. Daniel, like I said, I'm gonna get you back on when they're hopefully not doing work outside my house and we have better internet. But I do want to
Yes.
release this episode because, like I said, we've had such great conversation today.
Yeah.
But where can people find you? Where can people find you more about you, your coaching, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think the best way is to get in touch over Instagram Daniel KBK underline, or YouTube Daniel KBK, Daniel Kubik, but I think YouTube is just in German language. Instagram as well, but yeah, sometimes I put something with English. Or yeah, I think that would be the best way. Primus inter pares coaching, .de. It's a German website, but if you are interested in the coaching, let me know. You can text me over Instagram, and yeah, I will give you some feedback in English as well. Yes.
Yeah, your English is
But,
great today. You forewarned
uh,
me. I don't, that's been excellent all day. So uh,
if you understand what I'm saying, it's
I
already
did.
good. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Like I said, I appreciate
Perfect.
your patience with me this morning. We'll get you back on soon. And like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed our chat. So thank you for coming on, Daniel, negotiating the time difference and taking time
Yes.
with me. Appreciate it,
Let's do
man.
it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. So looking forward to seeing your season. So
Thank you to having me on. Goodbye.
absolutely.